Everyone, welcome to 1 Million Cups.
1 second.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to 1 Million Cups. Please check in if you can on our app. If you have an iPhone, you may have to delete and then reinstall your app. We ask you to do this because we send the information in about how many people come to our meeting, and it also gives you personally an easy way to network with people that have come to the meeting afterwards. 1 Million Cups is about entrepreneurship, community, and education. Our mission is to lower the barrier of access to education, resources, and connection for all types of new and aspiring entrepreneurs throughout the United States. Our key pillars are presentations, not pitches, authentic connections, not networking. We're run for the community, by the community. Our culture, it's safe and supportive environment. 1 Million Cups is co-owned by all people who show up and support radical and intentional inclusivity. That's organizers, presenters, and attendees. 1 Million Cups is all about volunteer-led, rotate new organizers often, and we fuel your presenter pipeline together as a community. So we want to welcome you again to 1 Million Cups. Couple of things that you may not be aware of. We have weekly emails with information about the presenters, and we meet each week. We'd like you guys to attend every week. This is where you can get our news from the community. We like feedback, so please put things into the chat, and we like to engage everybody online. Our organizers: Danelle John, Jen Dalton, Tony Barnett, Myosha Mendes, John Yu, John Rutenberg, Renetta Jones, Marnie Miller, and Rosemary Savino, and myself. Our sponsors. John, I know you're here today. Why don't you talk about Office Evolution?
All right, great. Thanks, Melinda. We are a co-working and flexible office space provider in Tyson's Corner. We provide fully furnished office space, as well as a number of virtual space and meeting room options for businesses in the DC metro region. Beyond offering space, we partner with local organizations like 1 Million Cups and other business networking groups as a resource for our members. And as a space sponsor for 1 Million Cups, we look forward to meeting in person. So if you want to learn more about what we offer, please feel free to reach out to me. Thank you.
Thank you, John. And Lisa, I know you're here today from NABO. Tell us more about NABO.
I am, and thanks to Jenny Lee, also on our board of directors, for joining me. So hi, everyone. NABO is the National Association of Women Business Owners. We are a nationwide organization with local chapters, and our purpose is to lift up women business owners and help them thrive. For over 45 years, we've provided a nurturing community for women business owners to come together, learn, and promote one another. We fostered strong corporate collaborations and strategic alliances over the years, have developed into a formidable economic force and change agent for the greater DC and national business environment. So if you're interested in joining an organization that has both a nationwide and local presence, NABO is great for you. We also have, just not to exclude the guys, we have many men who are involved in NABO. So if women business owners are your target market, please give me a shout and I can give you more information. Thanks.
Thank you, John, and thank you, Lisa. Now, this is how our meetings are run. First, we want everybody to mute, and then when you are called on to participate, and you will be called on when you wave the icon that you'll find in the reaction.
Melinda, you're muted. Can you unmute, please?
Mute. Am I unmuted now? Can you guys hear me?
You're good.
Okay. Don't know where I lost you all, but use the hand wave icon in reactions to announce that you want to speak. And our moderator, who I believe is Rosemarie today, will then call on you. You can also type your question for the moderator to read to the participants. If the moderator says your name, please unmute your mic, say your name and who you are with, and then ask your question or make your comment. We ask that you be quick so that we can get everybody in. There are enough of us today that we'd like everybody to get a chance to share their thoughts and suggestions and ask their questions. When the speaker is finished, she will either say next or thank you, and then we know to go on to the next person. At that time, put your microphone back on mute, and the next person is up. So today we have DCFempreneur and Lisa Shapiro, and I want to welcome Lisa. And the stage is yours.
Okay. So my challenge question today, obviously I'm going to talk a little bit more about the community and our mission and what we are about. But my challenge question to begin, to keep this in the back of your mind, is what is the best method for me to find female entrepreneurs that would be motivated to take on a leadership role within the DCFempreneur community as we expand by leading new regional chapters? And in addition to that, it is what benefits would I be able to offer these leaders to make it worth their worthwhile? So DCFempreneur, as I said, is a local community. We support female entrepreneurs in the Washington, D.C. area. Melinda, next slide, please. Our mission is to provide community and support to professional female entrepreneurs by providing networking opportunities, collaboration, continuing education, helpful resources, and guidance to help impact their businesses to make them more purposeful and profitable. So we are a community of like-minded fempreneurs. Obviously the word, or maybe not as obvious, but the word fempreneur is the two words combined of female and entrepreneur. We share in the belief that we are better together, can do more, and grow faster when we work together. Collectively, we provide energetic, positive support to keep going, take action daily, and build your business by tapping into the energy of the community. Find your tribe. So what does this mean? Everybody talks about finding your tribe, build them hard. What does that mean? It really means that when you're an entrepreneur, a lot of times, you know, you start out as a solopreneur or you're a micro enterprise, and you're made up of one employee or maybe two after a year or two. But what's really difficult about being an entrepreneur is that you can really feel lonely at times, or that you don't have people to be a soundboard for your ideas. And so DCFempreneur, one of the things that I think we do really, really well is we provide a supportive environment for people to come together, and people who are like-minded. You're a professional entrepreneur, meaning that you're looking to grow your business to exceed or match your full-time income as when you worked in a career. A lot of times the women in our community have spent their entire lifetime working for someone else, learning a key set of knowledge and skills, and then they've decided to go out on their own. And so when they do that, they end up needing another community to help, you know, understand what they're going through, to talk about similar struggles, to be able to discuss challenges and provide viable solutions. And also a lot of times it's just about keep going, to help feel inspired and motivated to take action on your goals. And another thing that I think our community does really well is we are able to find people to collaborate with. A lot of business owners join DCFempreneur and they're meeting each other, and they're combining their services and their products, or they're forming new entities together. And I think that is super powerful. There's several examples that I can think of, but for the sake of time, we'll just continue on. But if we get back to it later, I can give you some examples of that. So here are some of our milestones. So I formed the single member LLC in January of 2019. I launched officially in February of 2019 and brought on my original body of leadership, which I call my founding members. We launched our podcast later that year in May. In September, we launched our first mastermind series, which continues on now. It's a 8-week program for our members to come together and to discuss business challenges and to find viable solutions to those challenges. In September of 2019, we launched our first level of membership beyond founding member, and we called it our Fempreneur Advocate Business Membership. So there's more than one membership other than the founding member. Not sure why this is a little bit garbled here, but that's okay. In February of 2020, we celebrated our first year. Let's see, in March of 2020, we pivoted completely to doing all online events and launched what we call our EFAB virtual membership. EFAB means, the Fempreneur Advocate Business, but E version. What made that membership unique is that there was, it was a very low fee to become a member. It was $15 a month and still is. And you were able to be an official member, but for $15 a month. And there was no annual membership with that. So there was no commitment to join. You could be a member for as long as you needed, for as long as you needed the support. And it was very popular. We had a lot of new members join at that time. In January of 2021, we launched what we call our Academy. So it's an online learning center for a variety of courses and membership, things about like learning how to get the most value out of your membership. In February 2021, we celebrate our 2-year anniversary. And this month we are launching new collaborative partnerships. For example, one of our new collaborative partnerships is with Rowan Tree, which is a former presenter, and they are also members of DCFempreneur. Next slide. So unique value proposition. We talk about this a lot in business, like what sets you apart? What makes you different than all the other memberships that are out there or the other membership organizations or networking communities? And I think one of the things that really makes us different is our people. The people that we attract at DCFempreneur, like I said, these are professional entrepreneurs. These are not necessarily moms with side hustles. Not like there's anything wrong with that, but there's a different sort of commitment to growing your business when you are a professional entrepreneur. You do it full time. We are community oriented, so it's not a regimented model for participation. So you're not required to attend 26 meetings a year or you have to find a replacement. There's nothing like that. One of the other assets within our community is we have a really nice member portal, very similar to what a Chamber of Commerce would use, with easy login and a really nice directory. All of our members are able to log into the portal and add all of their own business events to our community calendar, which receives thousands of hits a month. It's very popular, and that's really great. I mentioned already again the Academy, which is our continuous professional development online program. Our mastermind, which I mentioned, no cost for members. Another thing that I really think is great about DCFempreneur is most of our workshops and our challenges are led by our members. So we are tapping into the knowledge and expertise of our membership to host our workshops and our challenges. So our visibility challenge, our gratitude challenge, we've had a variety of things in addition to our member workshops and our events. So we host about an average of 4 events a month. So it's more than just once a month or like one networking event. We have a variety of different events. We've done speed networking. We host all kinds of different workshops. So we have a captivated audience in our Facebook page. There are more than 1,300, all female, all within the DC area, DC, Maryland, and Virginia. So it's a really nice place to go in and meet other people that you could absolutely have a chance to meet in person. We have discounts for partner businesses. We have a lot of businesses. As a result of our last year, we launched something called the Fempreneur Shop Small Guide. And there were almost 100 businesses that were a part of that offered discounts for people within the community that were wanting to shop local, all female owned businesses. And I mentioned about our EFAB virtual membership, which had no commitment. There was no annual contract. They were able to be a member for as long as they needed the support. So we basically covered this about the benefits of being a part of the community. We talked about problem solving, support. I've mentioned the mastermind. So and for time, I'll just go ahead and move right through this. I do want to get to the challenge question. Melinda, next slide, please. So I talked about this before, but I'm looking to expand DCFempreneur outside of where my home base is in Fairfax. And I'm looking to really understand what benefits that I could offer this chapter leader that would make it worth their time. And so I'm looking for feedback about who would be a good person to lead this, or somebody who would be really good and or be well versed in the community. Melinda, next slide. So I do have a slide about our growth. We've obviously had a little bit of drop off after COVID, but we're hoping to increase our membership when we expand. Next slide, Melinda, please. So as I mentioned, we're looking to expand just outside of the Fairfax County area. We do have people that are in Montgomery County, Maryland, DC, and in Virginia. I still want to stay relatively regional to this area, so I'm not looking for Richmond or something that far out to begin with. I'd like to maintain the culture and stay as local as we can, but still find additional leadership that can host events and breathe a new breath into the community. Next slide. So what I think the basic capabilities to be a chapter leader would be knowledge of social media, comfortable with technology to be able to use our member portal and our CRM, interest in growing the community, has ties to the local community, the capability to host events once a month. And I'd like them to be an independent small business owner, meaning they're not a rep or affiliated with a larger corporate entity. So I talked about this, our current outreach or marketing. We have our public Facebook group or a private Facebook group. We have an e-newsletter, and our member portal sends out member-only emails. Next slide, Melinda. And then I have a few testimonials which we can skip. Alrighty, and then the last slide is just my contact information. So there we are.
Thank you, Lisa. What a fantastic presentation. Thank you so much. I knew about DCFempreneur, but now I know a whole lot more. So I think most of the folks here were here when Melinda went over our approach to the Q&A section. I'm your moderator. I will ask you to please put your hand up and ask your question either through reactions or physically or something in the chat. And I will give you kind of the cue. So we're starting with Melinda, who has her hand up. And then I actually have a question for Lisa. Anyone else with questions, recommendations, or suggestions, please put your hand up and I'll call on you in order. Go ahead, Melinda. Thanks.
Great. Couple first questions. And I thought of a few things while you were talking that would actually help you find speakers as well. I think sororities are a really good way to find entrepreneurs, and through the sorority alumni groups, but also in college, because a lot of the folks that are graduating from college today are looking to be entrepreneurs. So it may be a way to do that. And if you sponsored or came up with a way to do something with sororities where you give them a couple of months of a free membership or something like that, you might be able to be a speaker at their annual conventions. A lot of them have conventions every year and they're national, so they get their alumni as well as the college students there. It would be just really good presence for you. I also wrote down local chambers have women's groups. And again, you may find people that want to get involved and they may become leaders for other locations for you. And then the last one that I wrote down was women's groups in general. There are a lot of women's groups out there. I love NABO. I was a member of American Business Women's Association. And again, there may be some ways to get involved with these groups with partnerships and maybe giving them some kind of a discount for members. I mean, it's only $15, I think you said, a month or whatever it is, but there may be something that you can give back to them so that maybe you end up giving them a couple memberships that they can give away for free at a big event. I'm just throwing some things out there, but love everything you did. Great presentation, and sororities and women's groups and chambers are some of my thoughts. Thank you.
That's very helpful. So that is something I think to think in mind because our current community, I would say the average age of our member is between maybe 30 and 40. So I don't know whether we would have maybe a younger chapter, which couldn't hurt to reach a younger audience. Also, you know, I do think it would be very helpful for some of the more established members in DCFempreneur to be able to work with younger entrepreneurs just getting started. So those are helpful
Mentor program.
suggestions.
Start a mentor program. That'll also get you publicity.
Thank you. Great. I wrote everything down.
Awesome. Just so we remember, Lisa, you will get a copy of the chat also. So Jenny Lee, I saw your hand go up. Do you still have questions? And then Lisa Nichols.
Thank you, Rosemary. Lisa, great presentation. Thank you for that. I have a few questions for you. Did you say that you would like to increase the engagement level of the members? Or you want it to reach more, have more membership into your organization or association?
Yes. So we're looking to grow the community or organization. Yes. And I believe that it will be easier to do that when I'm not the only one seeking out growth to do that. So a lot of times our new members are coming in through a connection through me. But I think if we have another body of leadership that is also looking to grow their business and then be active in our community, that we would grow a lot faster and reach more people. Yes.
Also, have you just kind of do a survey with the members, the current members, to see what kind of content they're looking for?
Great question. So yes, actually on August 9th, we are hosting our first town hall, is what I'm calling it, where I'm speaking to my current membership, which is about 60 or so female small business owners, to talk to them about that. But also last July 2020, I did host a round of member check-ins where I had one-on-ones with a lot of members. And I did conduct a little bit of market research, as well as July of 2019, I did that as well. So I think we can never, talk to our customer enough, right? So I definitely do try to listen and ask as often as possible what the membership needs in order to continue to be active and grow their business. But to your point, it can never be enough. I can always do more to make sure I understand their needs and build programming around what they are saying that they need.
Okay, thank you, Lisa. And also I agree with Melinda, creating a new mentor kind of group and reach out to colleges in the area. And I think that's great.
Thank you so much.
Lisa.
Awesome, Jenny. Thank you so much. If you get a chance, if you could just put your comments in chat later. Then I have Lisa Nichols and Sarah Condi after Lisa.
Hey, so first of all, Lisa Shapiro, great job. You know, I watched you grow DCFempreneur and I've loved seeing what you're doing. So I think it's amazing how you've grown this community and the initiatives you brought to it. And that was a great presentation. So I actually have a couple of things I wanted to talk about on two totally different topics, if that's okay with this. But first of all, in terms of growing the organization, I think that's something that many of us struggle with. Like a lot of organizations have that challenge, right? It's always, how do we do it? How do we get more people involved? How do we get more people to take a leadership role? And how do we grow? And I wish there was like a tried and true formula, but I did want to ask you, like, in terms of your governance, you know, what we found with NABO is that having a board and having engaged committees and really beefing up the committees has been instrumental in trying to get people to step into leadership roles. So it's definitely like a far out type thing. It can't just happen like that, but that has been for us really I'm not going to say game changer, but it's made it much easier to find leadership within those ranks. So we totally focus on our committees. That's actually been my initiative for the past year, and it will continue to be, is to develop committees, have people take on the leadership roles, have them, you know, really work on their committee structure, have them recruit other committee members. So that kind of takes it off you getting everybody in by having the committee leaders do that. So that's part one. And I don't know if you've done any of that. So I just didn't know what your structure was and wanted to say that that might be something, if you haven't done it yet, it might be something to do.
That is really, really timely. I've been talking about forming committees in our members only group. So in addition to the big group where there's 1,300, I also have a smaller group that we use for internal communication. And we've been talking about forming committees, but they've been more about smaller, more social things. For example, we formed recently what we call a celebration committee. Or I shouldn't say we formed it. Two of our members who decided they wanted to take on this celebration committee as a result of interest in people saying that they wanted to host business showers, you know, that talk about business showers instead of baby showers or bridal showers. So hosting a business shower. So we actually formed a committee of people who said that they wanted to put on that kind of event. But I know what you're thinking of is in terms of something a little bit more organized, like a treasurer and a secretary, like the roles that NABO has. But I think that is incredible advice. And I think if I'm able to outline the responsibility of what people would do in those committees, I might have a better chance of getting someone to say, oh, sure, that isn't a lot of work. I can do that. So I think that is a really good idea. I just don't want it to be something where someone says, gosh, that's even more work. And I'm also trying to grow my business in addition. I wouldn't want to take away from them growing their business by having like a role in a committee. So that's why maybe I've been a little bit resistant to it, but I think it's very helpful information.
Well, and I will say, having one person on the committee is definitely burdensome, but if you can get other committee members, I think Jenny can speak to this. Like we started with our marketing committee and then I was running it. I had other people come on, Jenny came on, and now she's got a team. So it does take time, but also as a leader, the more committees you have doing that work, the more you can get out and recruit people. Like, so it really frees up your time to not focus on those things that your committee can take care of. So I'm a big fan of that. And I think that that's definitely the right step. I would, like you said, take a step back and try and figure out, what can I use a committee for? Would one committee, like, start with one? Should I have an events committee? Should I have a governance committee? And all of those things, and really look to other organizations. So that's part one. Part two is, I know that you're big on social media, but I don't know how much you're using social media to try and get out to new membership. Are you doing lives? Are you, Instagram lives? Are you interviewing members? Are you doing location-based tags? Are you doing promo posts on social about what DCFempreneur does? So I would say, I know you're very social media savvy. I just haven't been following you enough to know what kind of things you're posting about. So I would say maybe even looking at your social media posts to be sure that you're using hashtags to get them out in front of the right people. And so maybe even getting people interested in DCFempreneur through the use of your social media and through strategic posts would be another thought.
Great question. So yes, I definitely know how to use social media well. It's just doing it is totally different than knowing how. I think that would be one of the things I would love to get help with, because as the CEO of a member organization, as you know, my time is not best spent, doing all of the things. So I definitely don't do a lot of lives as much as I could, or reels as much as I could. That could definitely be something that I could outsource to somebody that is a lot more savvy and interested to me. I'd have to build that into my budget to be able to hire someone, but that is definitely something I could improve on, is consistency with social media and having a really good plan for that. I feel like we use our Facebook group, the internal one, the private group, a lot more than we do like putting things outward on the public page. I think that is often overlooked. So reaching outside people to get new people in is a lot harder, I think. But I think I spend a lot of time trying to engage the people that are already in our Facebook group, because I certainly have not, if there's 1,300 people in our Facebook group and I don't have 1,300 members, then I want to, I want to engage those folks. So, but to your point, yes, I could absolutely improve.
Yeah, and I believe me, I understand the struggle, because my personal social media is a mess compared to like my clients. But I will say that if you could maybe make it a goal to go on Instagram Live once a week, which is easy, 20 minutes, interview a member about what they're getting out of DCFempreneur in their business, share it to IGTV, make it a post, then you've got some stuff that really, it's easy. It's not a ton of your time, so that may be like a quick and easy thing. So anyway, moving along, sorry.
No, thank
Thanks,
you.
Lisa Nichols. Great feedback. A quick reminder, we got a lot of folks with their hands up, a lot of folks that have a desire to share with you, Lisa Shapiro. So I would recommend quick responses, quick questions and suggestions. And I'm going to quickly go down the list of people who are waiting. Sarah, you're next. Annie Young, you had put a couple of comments into chat. If you want to speak to them, you can. Jen Dalton, and then Reggie. So Sarah Condi, take it away.
Hi, Lisa. It's lovely to meet you. Really love what you're doing. Some of the things that that stood out in the presentation was that you said you're looking for professional entrepreneurs, which is kind of the space that I'm in. And I noticed that, I've heard a lot of stuff about Facebook and Instagram, but my world's on LinkedIn. And if you want to find more professional minded people who are working full time, like that's a community that you want to speak to. Like when I looked at your LinkedIn page, like there's not a business for DCFempreneurs, like it doesn't link to the website or anything. So just little things like that, and make sure you don't neglect LinkedIn. It can be really powerful. I actually just, there's a women's group called Pepper Lane for moms, and I actually just canceled my membership because everything was on Facebook, and that's not my day-to-day. My day-to-day is on LinkedIn. So that was just an idea. And I think in terms of, adding value to members, I think for social media, maybe you could trade. There's got to be a social media person in your network that you can maybe trade a membership for some work, people who believe in what you're doing. You might find that, instead of having to pay for that budget, maybe they get a chance to profile their work with you. So that was another idea. And then lastly, I'd love to talk to you offline about, we have marketplaces for professionals who are looking to work with Fortune 500s, and we have some ideation tools that are meant for women entrepreneurs, and we have a conference called FreeCon that might be good for your community. So I'd love to connect with you. I'm trying to go fast. There was one other thing. I think you're doing a fantastic job, and if I think of it, I will put it in the chat, but it's lovely to meet you.
Thank you, Sarah. Those are very helpful.
Thanks, Sarah. Annie Young.
Hi, Lisa. Yeah, I was just brainstorming over here. I went to JMU. They have a Center for Entrepreneurship, and I was close with the professor that founded the program. So I was just thinking that creating a partnership with them to funnel businesses that are started into your community That would be a good place to start. And also, if you're looking to create leaders rather than just find leaders, you could launch a program with maybe a partner or a coach that has, a training on how to create a leader. And you could not only improve the skill set of the women around you, but then find leaders for other chapters. And I was just thinking along the lines of new perks, including like maybe a VIP mastermind for just the leaders where they could come together and it could be more high level. And you could be, you could bring in guest experts or something, or providing an allotment for a business coach, because I think that that's something that, every woman entrepreneur can really benefit from.
Thank you. That's helpful. I went to George Mason for both my bachelor's and my master's. And I am an employee of the the SBDC, the Small Business Development Center. So I am a George Mason employee as well. So I could definitely reach out to those groups. Thank you. I didn't think about that.
Awesome. Thanks, Annie. So Jen, Dalton, then Reggie. Again, put your hands up or put in chat if you have comments.
Hey, Lisa, great job. Thanks for presenting today. I wanted to reframe the challenge question slightly, or maybe reframe the answers we're giving you. I feel like there are two things you're solving for. One would be, how do you have governance management, which absolutely speaks to what Lisa Nichols was talking about around having a board and committees. And then for this leadership role, it sounds like it's almost like a market leader. So I just want to be mindful that I think there are two things you're looking for, and having a board and committees where it's formalized can be a great way to attract women leaders who want to do board service leader, because it's an official board. That also could be your pipeline to fill a market leader. But I think those are two different things. So just want to throw that out there. I think you probably need both. My last question, and you don't have to answer it necessarily right now, would be, I think your answer also needs to take into account, what do you want to do with DCFempreneur long-term, right? 5 or 10 years. Is it going to be equity owned, where everybody in it owns a portion of it? Is it going to be something you're going to run forever? Like, are you trying to have it be acquired at some point? So those are just some things to think about, because that may change your approach as well.
That's an excellent question. Yeah, all entrepreneurs were supposed to have an exit strategy. So thank you. That's something to think about.
Great questions as always, Jen. Reggie, you're up next, and then Jennifer Rose. I saw you put a couple things into chat, so take it away, Reggie.
Thanks, Lisa. Great job. Big fan. One is sort of about an approach, and then one is kind of a thing that you can do. So we're in this collaborative environment. I think one maybe you can change the approach to instead of looking for maybe all those qualities that you listed in one person, look at putting together small teams that cover all those bases. Like I if I were a candidate for membership, I'd be interested in being part of a leadership team more so than taking on the responsibility of trying to lead an organization. I look at all the things that you do, what you've built, and that seems very daunting. But if I could be recruited to be part of a small, team of other professional entrepreneurs, I'd be much more excited about doing that. I still get the same leadership type of opportunities, but I wouldn't feel like this is another thing that I have to add to my plate. So that I would think about changing the approach to trying to recruit teams as opposed to individuals. And then the other thing is, I'd like to know if you've done anything to reach out to men, to all the male entrepreneurs out there, because I obviously know a lot of professional women entrepreneurs, and would be happy to refer members and people who would be great leaders. But I'm certainly not the target audience for your organization. So I want to help, right? So I think something to engage the men out there that know the people that you're looking for, whether it's a social campaign or just, some other type of outreach. I think that would be good to help you in your effort.
That's an excellent point. It's been probably a year since we've had what I call a mixer where we combine, with the other 50% of the leadership out there. I think the last time was February 2020 when we had our 1-year anniversary at Tower Club. So yeah, that could be something I could do, is tap into the other 50%, as I call them. Thank you.
Awesome feedback, Reggie. Thank you so much. Jennifer, you had put some comments into chat, and Kat Dowling, I saw you had as well. So go ahead, Jennifer, and then Kat.
Just really quickly, Lisa, great presentation. I share your pain, and we do such similar work in similar spaces. You've gotten some remarkable feedback from everyone. Some things that are working for me at the Central Fairfax Chamber, the committee structure works well. And to Reggie's point, I use leadership teams for my women's committee and my young professionals committee to kind of spread that workload out. Plus, it's developing a leadership pipeline for me for other committees and then eventually board positions. I know bandwidth is an issue for you. I'm thinking about the social media stuff. You do such a great job with your social media. I'm totally envious. But really just absorb what they're telling you, because I'm taking notes today, my friends.
Yes, there's a reason why I chose this platform to kind of talk about this before. This is like my sounding board before I really go out and start diving into, getting all this stuff underway. I wanted to really run it past this group because you guys are just amazing. Thank you.
Awesome. Kat, you had put some comments into chat as well.
Sure. Hi, Lisa. Thanks so much for the presentation. Great to learn more about DCFempreneur. I heard about you guys back in, I think it was the beginning of 2020, and then it kind of fell off my radar. So great to hear about what you're doing. You answered the question that I had in the chat as far as what are you doing with current members to see, hey, who might be interested in leading those satellite offices, because then it could be a group effort. Hey, if you're willing to lead one, here's the materials on how to recruit. So that way you're kind of expanding within who you already have. And the other question or suggestion that I have is, as meetings are getting back in person, or even if they're virtual, what about getting a booth or something at different conferences? I believe there's a big women's conference that happens out at the Dulles Center in the fall, and just letting people know, hey, this is who we are. Are you interested? And having some of the current members talk about how great it is, use the people who are already in to potentially recruit people.
Thank you. I haven't thought about canvassing or setting up booths, but it's definitely something I could build a budget for in the future.
Great feedback, Kat. Thank you so much. Jess, I saw that you had put some comments into chat, and as did Melinda. So Jess, if you want to speak to your comments, and then Melinda briefly to yours.
Yeah, I just wanted to second what Kat had said. I think really looking within the women who already love your group is the best place to start. They're going to be champions for your brand, and let them know that you are looking for this as well, so they can speak to their networks and those networks that extend beyond them. So it seems like you're already on this, and that's kind of like the low-hanging fruit in my opinion, but definitely don't overlook the opportunities that you already have right in front of you.
Thank you, Jess. Yeah, I think one of the things I really wanted to talk about, and it's not on the slide, is what would be the benefits that I could offer this, committee, or this team of leaders that would make it worth their time. Like I know it's not on the slide, but it's something I really did want to hear from the group is, besides no membership dues, or I really considered that this new person coming on, if it was one or two, they would receive, half of the membership dues that come in from the person that they refer for life. I mean, that could be a lot of money, among other things. So I would love to hear what people have, what their recommendations would be of what would make it worth their while, to make it, if they're taking time away from their family, or they're taking time away from growing their business, what would make it worth their while?
Yeah, I think that it depends a lot on the person you're talking to, because what I'm looking for might be completely different than what other women are looking for, right? And
Absolutely, yeah.
just any opportunity for me to expand my very specific network that I'm looking for to connect with right now, like that would make it worth my while. But, it could be completely different than what others want. So maybe make it, individualized based on who you're approaching.
Thank you.
Awesome insights, Jess. Thanks for sharing. Okay, so we have time for a couple more questions. It's been a very active discussion today, so thank you all. Melinda, I noticed that you had a couple of comments. If you want to go through them quickly, I had one or two things, and if anyone has additional questions or comments, please raise your hand. Sarah, I'll just speak for a quick bit, and then you can go after me. Melinda?
What I was going to say is women's groups may, and especially chamber women's groups, but all women's groups may take you as a speaker. And I started thinking about that. You should be getting on the speaking circuit and talking about entrepreneurs and being a woman and the things that we have to do that are different than what men have to do. They may be similar, but they're different. You may want to have some fun with that and get in front of a lot of these groups as a speaker. And then I also wanted to comment about something that you might be able to do for your membership. You may want to start some mastermind groups and limit them to no more than 10 people and have them meeting once a month and with the same people coming as part of the group, because then they can share some of their challenges that they're having and help each other. And that might be another benefit of becoming a member. And maybe adding the mastermind group might be an additional fee that you can charge after you show value to it. But I think that might be a great benefit, that not only are they networking with other female entrepreneurs, but now you've got some mastermind groups where you get into some discussions, or you bring in topics that people talk about, and then you have the discussion about the topic the way we're using our presenters, where we all help our presenters. You find entrepreneurs that may be up one month to discuss some of their challenges where others help them.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that would be an expansion of our current mastermind program, where we have a different cohort of 8 to 10 business owners. We meet once a week for an hour for 8 straight weeks. And then we have, then there's another application process, and then a different group of people meet for that 8-week period. But what you're describing sounds more like an event format. And I think the people in my community might really like that.
Awesome feedback. Thanks, Melinda. Sarah, I saw your hand go up. Valerie, if you go after Sarah. Go ahead, Sarah.
Hi, Lisa. One of the things so I have a small high-end community that I run, and one of the things for my full-time job, I also have an LLC on the side. So I'm like with you all the way with what you're doing. One of the things that has helped is we have these workshops, we call them learning circles, where we cut off the membership, like the amount to 15. We're actually doing one today. And so what I like about it is it allows the members to present their area of expertise, so they get a chance to share what they know. And it's a really nice way to have a networking session too, because it's a small group. So you have a little bit more structure, especially online, instead of people just kind of staring at each other. And people love to showcase their expertise. And it's not a commercial, it's more to help the community. But once they see what others can do, they end up connecting and doing work. And so we call those learning circles, and people love to present. And then for you, I mean, guest blogs, thought leadership, anywhere you can build your eminence of your brand. People love to have, I mean, this is the future of work, women entrepreneurs. This is what it's all about. The conference that I listed, FreeCon, we're gathering speakers right now. My employer, MBO, is one of the sponsors, but it's a conference I got to speak at, and I got so much back from it. And you know, there's just so many people that want to pick up what you're doing, what your story is. So I think really leading into the speakers or finding people to amplify your brand, I think is something that you will get a lot of return from. So at least it's been my experience, and I'd love to talk to you.
Sarah.
Thank you. That's very helpful. I took some notes down. I'd love to learn more about the learning circle format. That sounds really interesting.
Thanks, Sarah. Valerie.
Good morning, everyone. Lisa, fantastic job.
you.
So Valerie Jackson with Fierce Focus Strategies, and I am a DCFempreneur member. And so as you were asking these questions, Lisa, I had to pose them to myself because we've talked about leadership, and one of my challenges has been not wanting to take too much time away from my own business that I'm growing, but still being able to contribute. So I had to ask myself what would be valuable. And definitely equity share is important because we're in business. And so that is something that we'd like to know, but also knowing just how you've recapped how much you've impacted the entrepreneurial community is important, because knowing that something's working and seeing that it's working and how well it's working is really important to me. And you have demonstrated that well. The other things I just, say that, and other people said it, speaking has more than quadrupled my business. So speaking is really an important way to get your message, get your story out there, and people will definitely want to be a part of what you're doing. So again, great job. Glad to be a DCFempreneur member.
Thank you,
Valerie. And thank you, Lisa, for sharing your business challenge with us today. I am going to ask Jen Dalton, our esteemed leader today, to ask the final question to you, Lisa.
It's not a trick question. Don't worry. Don't be stressed. Lisa, what else can our community, our 1 Million Cups community, do for you?
I think it would just be, and then Rosemary's really good about this already with ICAP, is, when you're meeting other people in the community and they might be a good fit for me to talk to or to meet, I would love the referral. Just like, when I learn what all of you guys do and I say, if you're looking for someone that can do this or for someone that is interested in that, then you should speak to so-and-so. So I would absolutely love the to stay top of mind and the referral when you are able to think about it. But I think this has been very helpful. And there's a reason why I wanted to talk about this particular topic with all of you today before I really dove into creating this, this person or this body on my own. I really knew that you guys were going to help flesh this out. So I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Next week, we have Larry Rudwick from Risk Analysis Services, Lowering Premium Insurance. And our upcoming schedule, we're starting to get some speakers, but we definitely would like more presenters. We've got Green Fair Organic Cafe on the 11th of August. August 18th is still open. And then on August 25th, we have guest chat. We're not taking any time between Labor Day. September 1st is the Monday before Labor Day, or the Wednesday before Labor Day, and the 9th, or rather September 8th is the Wednesday after Labor Day. We expect most people have kids going back to school and they'll be on a schedule, and we just wanted to let everybody know that we are continuing to meet and we are looking for speakers, presenters. Want to welcome our brand ambassadors again: Dan Lender, Gresham Harkness, John Foster, Sarah Condi, and Reggie Holmes. And a little bit about our brand ambassadors. If you're interested, please let us know. What we're asking them to do is help us build our pipeline of presenters. That we'd like them to at least make one meeting a month if they can. And we are providing them with flyers and materials so that they can talk to the people that are in their natural network and look for folks that would like to be presenters. And then we suggest when you invite somebody as a presenter that they come visit a meeting before and make sure they like the format, and then we get them into the pipeline. Some of our past presenters, and this is the same slide we've been showing, are doing really, really well. And we've got them on this page. Upcoming events. Jennifer, I noticed that you are here today. I tried to put a list together from what I saw on your website, but you may have some other things you want to add to the list.
You got it all down perfectly, Melinda. But we do have a great webinar today on digital marketing using apps. And it is affordable. I've seen the presentation. So if you guys can tune in at noon, check it out.
Anybody else have any events? If you do, raise your hand or jump in.
I would love, Melinda, to talk about, we have a popsicle social on Saturday. We're hosting it at Rowan Tree in Herndon. It's open to everyone. We're using a popsicle vendor that is a female-owned small business. So we would love to support her and meet all of you.
Lisa, put it into the chat, please.
I sure will.
Great. Anybody else? If you do.
That free con thing I was talking about, that's in October, but they're looking for speakers now. I know because I just got booked for one. So
Great.
definitely worth checking out. It's the only conference that I know that's it's not done by organization or by, skill set. It's just for freelancers. So I found it to be a pretty unique experience when I was there before. So definitely wanted to highlight that for all of you.
Sarah, can you put that in this chat as well? Thank you. Want to thank everybody today. As we know, entrepreneurship is a lonely journey, and we acknowledge the barriers you might face in starting and growing your business. Our community is fueled by passionate entrepreneurs who are looking to support and learn from people like all of us with the same mindset. On behalf of our organizing team, we invite you to join us every Wednesday and let your friends know, your peers know, and we'll see you next week. Kaufman Foundation works with communities and entrepreneurship and education to increase opportunities that allows all people to learn, to take risks, and to own their own success. So take risks, own success, be uncommon. And we have over 150 1 Million Cups that are meeting weekly at this time. Spread the word. Thank you for coming. Anybody who wants to